All right, Coach Laverty and players from Chapman, first of all, congratulations on a national championship. And Coach's thoughts on the day and anything you want to open up with.
Wow. Dream come true. We worked. This is my 20th year as a head coach, and believing that you could reach this pinnacle. I mean, we always fought and scratched and tried to do everything we could to get to this point and to be here. Kind of like I said yesterday, to get the chance to play for it, how humbling it is, and I'm a little speechless, and I'm just in awe that we finished it off. And I believed in this team. I knew we could do it. And this team, I talked about it before, when we won the Super Regional to get here. We were picked to win our conference. We were number one in the region all year long. We're in the top 25 all year long. We get here, we're the highest ranked team left. So we were kind of at the top all year long, and that's a difficult thing to do. And these guys just, their tenacity to play together, to play for one another is amazing. And that's ultimately what got us to this point.
Coach, obviously the program has been here before. My question to you is, have you heard from alums who played, first of all, on the championship team, or any of all of those teams that got to the World Series but never quite got over the top as you've been on this run here?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to do that. Yes, our phones have been blowing up for weeks now, and guys coming to we had all kinds of alum and coming in and watching games. We had our whole 68 national championship infield watching our super regional, us clinching that to get here. But all four of the infielders were at the game. So just the program has just got such a storied tradition, and now 3 national championships.
I didn't mean to discount the non-division.
That's all right. No worries. No worries.
Coach, let's go back to the first game of the day. Talk about the performance you got out of Tyler Peck.
Well, awesome. I mean, first team All-American, and that's what we were expecting out of him. And he just gutted it out and did everything he could to put us on his back, and we got some runs and got a couple of big innings that helped us, that helped him get into cruise mode after his tough couple innings. But that's exactly why we did what we did with him against UMass Boston. Hey, you have him come back and be fresh. That he's not going to have 2 games like he did, and so for him to come up and do what he did just kind of set the tone for the day.
Nick, you come in the first game. You're not as dominant as you were in the 2 or 3 games you played before, but how important was it to have those runs behind you that the offense gave you?
It was phenomenal to have the offense do what they did today. You can't speak any higher of how they've grown over the past month, and just to know that they keep doing what they're doing out there was such an easy thing. I guess even Mason could speak to how much it helped when they keep pushing runs across for you. Even not this week, but in the past weeks, you can't speak highly enough of them.
Brad, sitting on a bench all day for the championship game. What was it like watching the players play?
Guys stepped up, and I mean that's huge. Watching them take part in key moments and helping pull out that ball game was huge. So
you come out, you get the first hit, you break up the no-hitter, and then the sort of offense explodes. Sort of talk about that experience.
Yeah, I mean, I had a back injury for the first game. I have to shout out my trainers, Ashley and Phil, helped me get back in the game. Told Coach I was feeling good. And, I wanted to be that guy in that moment, so just kind of had to step up.
Mason, great game today. Just talk about what was working for you and how you would keep the other Panthers off balance.
I was just trying to keep the ball down as much as possible, mix up the pitches, and execute. I've never had so much focus in a game. Just thinking one pitch at a time and throw one, get it, go to the next. And that's just how you got to treat it, all 9 innings.
Joe, you probably had the best view of anybody of what was happening with the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about the performance of the pitchers that you saw that pitched today.
I mean, Tyler, excellent job. Amazing job. Nick, he's been a horse, man. I mean, he's thrown a lot of innings. And I wouldn't say he had his A stuff today, but he went out there and competed. And then Mason Collins, that was just huge. That was the best game I think I've caught him ever. And we needed that today. That was big.
I'm going to go back to Joe for a second. So, Joe, you've caught a lot of innings, obviously, here. You look pretty fresh today, though, especially in that first game. Tell us about what you hit out, the home run.
I was feeling good. I was feeling good. You know, the past couple of days, like with the bat, I hadn't been feeling great. You know, with the innings behind the dish, like I could feel it in my body. But, you know, I kind of just reset myself last night. Said it's a new day tomorrow, and I felt like I was due. And, you know, I had a good day, so happy about that.
For any of the guys, or maybe for Coach, let me ask this to Coach specifically. Did you feel like with, you know, the pitching situation that you guys had to win it today and try to get out of here in 2 games?
Not at all. You know, we were just going one game at a time. When game 1 kind of materialized as it did, Gar said, "Coach, I feel good for 2." And knowing that we had that one in hand, or not in hand, but in the lead in that one, and then knowing that we could go to Gar, you know, get that one, and then knowing that we got Mason on the mound, you know, it was going to give us, a good outing. Same thing. We didn't expect him to have the same type of outing as he had against Washington and Jefferson. And so we felt good about it, but we still would have felt really good about throwing Riley Glenn out there on tomorrow, along with Cody, having Turner ready to go if for some reason game 2 didn't go our way. So we still felt pretty good, and all the guys that came in before. So we still felt pretty good, but, you know, we just wanted to end it now, too. You know,
Sure.
That was the great thing, too. So.
For the guys in general, coming off the playing 2 games yesterday and then having to come back here and be, you know, not 10 a.m. but pretty close still. What was it like getting ready to go this morning? I see I've asked this to a bunch of people who may not have played in the first game, so Joe, this is back to you.
I think the guys were just ready to go. I mean, it's a national championship. I mean, yeah, it's 2 games, but everything, like, this is what you play for. So,
Yeah.
guys were ready to go.
Does it feel any different, you know, the kind of artificial border between the winning your bracket and then the championship series today? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, winning the bracket was great, but it still wasn't the end goal. And so the end goal is what we were, you know, humbly able to achieve today. And so it definitely, you know, it's surreal. It really is. And I'm just humble and thankful for all my mentors and people that have always supported us, all of our alum, everybody that gave us opportunities to be here. And it's exciting.
Coach, Mason went all 9 innings. Did you ever have a thought in that second game about switching pitchers at all, or were you ready to let him go all 9?
No, the way he was throwing was the way when Mason's on a roll. You knew he was on a roll. You could really see it in about the 5th. Once he got out of the one jam where they had first and third one out, once he got out of that one, the next inning he came out and he just started to roll, and ball was down. And I was like, this is his game. Because in the same scenario, like you were talking about, if for some reason they had come back, you know, Mason gives us a strong start into the 8th or 9th inning, and they come back, okay, well, then we've got everybody available for tomorrow. And so, but cue to this team for sure. They were very strong at scoring runs late all year long, and to break that open at the end, you know, that just made it help Mason just settle in and go, okay, you know, I can just finish this thing and go from there.
All right, Coach, and all the guys probably could y'all take this one. Back at campus, they had watch parties. You had people talking about it pretty much all week long, since Monday, at least when we got back in. What's it mean to you guys to know that you had all that support back home? And could you feel that vibes out here in Cedar Rapids?
Absolutely. We're getting all the email dings on my phone, you know, from the Chapman University email. So thank you, everybody who was watching and supporting us. Everybody back home, we're just super excited to bring another trophy home.
It's great having all that back there, but when we set out in August, it was 29 of us or whatever, and we were doing it for each other. So that's all I got. Like, we came out here, we did it for each other. It's great to have people who have our backs, but it was everybody going, everybody there for each other, and that's essentially only way we got this done was because everybody did their job this week.
I don't know if you guys hear, but we always break out on family. So I completely back what Nick was saying. Like, where's your family? We're a family. We're 100% a family. We really grinded it out, every single guy. So it was really cool to do it for each other.
Yeah, and I think that's the epitome of a team effort. Literally, every single guy did their part and did something to help us win, whether it was the first ball game or the last ball game. And that's what matters. If one of those guys isn't doing their part or isn't there, we might not be sitting here right now. So, very great job, team effort.
Panthers are hot.
I got one more. You talked about this a little bit, but do you feel like this the week was just kind of a microcosm of the year a little bit? I mean, the 6th inning on is kind of when you guys shined. And then, you lose the game early and you come back through the loser's bracket to take it all. And even in the last game here, you put up a big crooked number late. Do you feel like this tournament just kind of summed up how the entire year went for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. As I hinted to it earlier, these guys, it's probably why I still have a few less hairs on my head, but it's just their gumption to stay and fight all through all 27 outs, all 9 innings. Everybody when they scored first in the first game, we're like, okay, what's our record when somebody scores first against us? It's a lot versus a little. So we're like, okay, big deal. Let's just come back and do our thing. So these guys just had that all year long.
All right, coach and players, congratulations. Thank you very much.